But yeah, here we're gonna do a tier list for the Dark Souls 3 bosses because I just finished Dark Souls 3, literally just be doing shit. And we're going through. I'll do these in order because that's just I feel like that makes more sense to me. I already so yeah. First was Eudex Gundyr, which is I think a B tier fight. It's good, it's easy, it's pretty fun. It's the style of fight that I like the most. The second phase has a bit of like kind of issues in terms of how it looks, in my opinion, and all that, but it's just fine. Next, I'm going through this fast. The beginning part fast. Vort is an A tier fight. I think I love it for where it is in the game. Um, this is real fun. I love. It's just perfect for what I want it to be at this point in the game. Trina from my stream chat says hi. Um, Viewers who probably aren't going to watch this because I don't get many views on my YouTube videos, but that's not the point. Um, but Vort is just great. I love how it plays. It's good. It's pretty unique for the game, in my opinion. But it doesn't do anything super flashy, so it's just an A. Next is Curse. Curse is an F. Fuck Curse. I hate it so much. Probably shouldn't have cursed this fast in the video, but who cares? Curse great. Curse rotted. Great Wood's just not fun. I don't like how it plays. I don't like that there's enemies in the arena. I don't like that you have to that it's very gimmicky and you have to hit specific areas. I don't like how big it is to where you can't see a lot of its attacks when it does specific things. It's hard to dodge some of the dumb things. The second phase at the bottom with the hand that sticks out of it has really stupid iframey issues where it doesn't. It's really difficult to dodge because it's stupid. Next to answer Jake and Trina is Crystal Sage, which I will say is a D tier fight. I don't hate it. I'm not a big fan of magic fights. Um, you guys can also chime in just to be clear while I'm doing the video. But I don't like magic fights all that much. Projectile fights, they're kind of just annoying. The fact that the whole concept of the boss is that it spawns in a whole bunch of enemies that shoot projectiles from whole different areas is just kind of annoying. So I don't really like it. But it's like design wise, it's cool. The actual parts of it are pretty fun. I don't like it as a fight, but it's not. I don't think it's the bottom of the bottom. Now next is Abyss Watchers, which I fucking struggled with Abyss Watchers so much. But as a fight, it's a fantastic fight. I'm not gonna lie. The second phase has issues where it's like we're dodging and the frame rate iframes isn't as good as I expect it to be in terms of games because of just purely because it has the AoE of the fire attacks plus he just attacks really fast, and that's my big thing is it just spams attacks, which is my biggest issue. But the fight itself I think is really fun. I think the concept of the fight's really cool as well, having the second guy in the first phase and then having a third guy that helps you attack them. I like the idea. It's just a great fight. Next is Deacons of the Deep, which I think is a fine fight. I think it's pretty boring. Yeah, I'll put it in D. I'll put it ahead of Crystal because it doesn't annoy me like Crystal does. Because Crystal sucks. The thing with Deacons is it's super easy. It's just boring. I think it's just not a fun fight. Like I don't really care about it at all when I think about it. It's just like I don't know. It's just not fun. I didn't really enjoy myself when I was doing it. Next is High Lord Wolnir, which is another fight that I'm gonna put in D between them because no, I'll put it ahead of Deacons. It's another fight that I just think was boring and it was kind of gimmicky. It wasn't like a gimmick like a Curse Greatwood gimmick, but it was a gimmick in that it was just like a dodge, hit a wrist, break his like thing on break his bracelet, and I don't know. It was just I didn't think the fight was all that entertaining, and it was pretty boring as a fight. The design's kind of cool, but you don't really get to see it much because of how camera angles work in this and where you have to attack. So it's gonna go there, but it's fine, I guess. It's not. Yeah, I don't hate it. And then after High Lord would be Old Demon King, which I will put in B tier. Uh, I'll put it ahead of Gundyr because Old Demon King I think is really fun and hard. It just has a bit of issues if I remember properly were annoying me. Um, but it I don't know. I like it. I don't. It's probably one of the. I feel like I don't remember it as much because of where it was in the game, but I liked it a decent bit. After that would be Pontiff Sullivan, which is my favorite fight. Pontiff is so good. Pontiff, Solar Machete, my stream mate, record mate, friend, good friend of mine. Check out his channel if you haven't. Um, he struggled with Pontiff a lot, and he said it was dumb in that it had a lot of issues with it. But I fucking love Pontiff. It is so fun. The first phase is the fucking kind of boss fights I love. I love the just like these dudes in armor swinging swords around. I love those fights. And the second phase where there's two of them, if you play it properly, it's just great. And it's the type of difficult that I think is good. It's a good difficult. It's not a dumb difficult in my opinion. It is my favorite fight. It might be my favorite fight in all three of the Dark Souls games that I've played so far. Um, but I love this fight a lot. After Pontiff though, it was Yorm the Giant, which is one of my least favorite fights in the game because the gimmick behind it is stupid. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for where it was in the game and to why it was doing it. It's kind of dumb to figure out as well. Like you go in there, you're not really looking for a thing on the ground. You eventually find the thing on the ground. You have to equip it, and not knowing where the fuck it is, like not knowing how to use it because there's no like guide to using it is just dumb. Oh, everyone I love about this fight. Your friend is dumb. What a man. Yorm is just boring. I don't. Yorm's like once you find the weapon that it gives you, it's like a 3-shot. I just don't. It's not. I don't. It's just boring. I don't. It's boring. It's a gimmick that isn't like doesn't really add anything. And it's a fast. It's like a ridiculously easy fight once you know how to do it. Actually, time is done. Yeah, I don't. Red. I don't. I don't think Red saying attack through time and it's done. Yorm was an A tier. I don't want my fight to be over in 5 seconds. I don't want it to be an easy ass fight. I just don't think that that's great. I don't know. It's just not. It's not. If it was a fight that was like that you could do like regularly with your weapons and just make it a normal fight as well, that'd be fun. And I think I'd like it because I like the design. I like the arena. I like those type of fights. It's just it was a gimmick that I found boring and I didn't really think was all that good. And then Aldrich, I'll give a C tier. Aldrich, the Devourer of Gods. This is a fight again. I don't like magic fights all that much. I like the Anor Londo throwbacks. I like just the difficulty because this is a hard fight. It's kind of dumb in my opinion, which is why it's going to be lower. But once you get, I think it's a it's a good mixture. It's a weird mixture of kind of dumb, good, fine, and having some really fun parts to it. The design's really cool. The Anor Londo throwback. I think Guinevere or Gwendolyn. Pretty. I think is this either this is Gwendolyn or is supposed to resemble Gwendolyn. I don't actually know. Um, but yeah, it was fine. After Aldrich, we go to Dancer of the Boreal Valley, and here's the weirdest one for me, Dancer, because I was on Dancer. I think the longest. I think I've said this. I think I said Abyss Watchers I was on the longest. I don't know if I said it on stream or if it was on the video while I was recording or not. Um, but I was on Dancer for so long because I didn't upgrade my heals at all. I was still on base Estus with like 6 Estus flasks. And I was on 30 hours of no sleep, just brain dead, going back and forth and doing it. When I look at the fight and when I go back and watch me beat it, I think it's an A tier fight. I think it's a really fun fight. It's a really good design. The way the fight goes is really good. I was just struggling so hard by it in the time when I was doing it because I was dead tired when I was doing it. But it's a great area. The boss arena is fine. The music's sick. I love the fight. The choreography's great. I love it. Song is S tier as a boss fight, but it's an A tier. Yeah. But then you move, yeah. Then no, after Red, you're missing one. After Dancer is Dragon Slayer. I guess the order you do it obviously isn't exact, but because technically I think Osiris you can get to quicker, but I'm pretty sure Dragon Slayer is the recommended next fight because it's easier. But Dragon Slayer, I think, is gonna be A tier. I think it'll be the top of A tier because it's a really good fight. I think it's pretty basic and it's pretty easy for where it is in the game. But I think it again. This is the type of fight I really like. I like the moveset. I like learning. I like learning to dodge combos. I love it. The design's really cool. The arena's really cool. I think if it was slightly harder, I think it might be S. And it has some. I remember some moves in it that were kind of stupid that annoyed me, but it's a really good fight in general. Move after Dragon Slayer was Osiris, which I think will be C under. I'll go above Aldrich because the concept of the fight's really cool. I like the design. The arena's kind of dumb. It's a really annoying fight for the most part. Some of the moves are way too fast, but it wasn't super tanky. It wasn't like the most OP fight ever, but I liked it as a fight. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but I think it was a fun fight. I think it was a fun time. And the aesthetics and designs I thought were really good. But it is what it is. I don't think it was anything amazing, but it was fun. Now Champion Gundyr, I think this is an A tier fight. It's gonna be the bottom of A tier. It's pretty much just the first Gundyr fight, which I think is B, which I think is fine. It has issues, but it's just increased in difficulty, and the aura around the like dead area is cool. Why did you I don't know why I did that. But Champion Gundyr is fantastic. It is amazing. I think it's under Abyss Watchers and Pontiff because Abyss Watchers idea is sick and Pontiff is amazing. But it's a great fight altogether. Now, you got Lothric and Lorien, the young prince and the elder prince. Is that what is that Lothric the younger prince and Lorien the elder prince? This is an S tier fight. This is probably one of my favorite fights in the game. I love this fight. Red Hideout saying B tier. I think this fight is fantastic. I was struggling with it because I wasn't locking in. Red Hideout and Jake in my chat right now, they weren't here for it, but Trina, Solar Machete Memphis, my friend, and other chatters that I commonly have, they all saw me just repeatedly do this over and over and fail because I just wasn't locked in, and then I just locked in on a bet that Memphis made, and I just absolutely just got just like I just locked in and just beat it first try. I was trying to lead that somewhere, but my brain started to die out. Next fight I suck at transitions, is Ancient Wyvern. Ancient Wyvern. Probably the easiest fight in the game if you know what you're doing. But again, probably it's probably my least favorite fight. I think Ancient Wyvern is my least favorite fight in the game. Make it its own tier. I think it fits in this tier. Ancient Wyvern is so dumb as a fight because first of all, it gives you kind of have to figure out that it's a drop attack kill to kill it and like make it really easy. But also, the run up to get to the drop attack is one of the worst run ups ever. This area of this DLC's area sucks. I hated it. I hated it so much. Ancient Wyvern is the one at Dragon Peak. Yes, it's the one before Nameless King. It's the one that you can go up and drop attack on, and it one shots it. I think it one shots it. I'm pretty sure it one shots it. And it's so bad because it's a boring fight because there's no like actual fight. You drop attack it. It's stupid. The area is stupid. I hate it so much. The other enemies in the boss arena are just dumb. I hate it. It's just despicable. It's despicable as a fight. Now, next is Nameless King, which is an S tier fight. I will probably put it above Lothric and Lorien. Sorry, I can't. I try to speak. I was struggling my ass off on Nameless King. It's probably one of the fights that I did the worst with. And I kind of don't like the first phase because until you so obviously the best Dark Souls players bait attacks. They bait attacks to optimize their counterattacks. With Nameless King, if you're not the greatest Dark Souls player like me, I'm still noob to this. I don't have a ton of hours on these games. I've only played through Dark Souls 1 once, Dark Souls 2 mostly once, and I've just beat Dark Souls 3. And so I'm still not great. If just trying to play it regularly, just trying to dodge whatever attack it throws at you and not baiting attacks, it's stupid because the camera angles ruins this fight. It's awful. But the second phase is really difficult, but it's really fucking fun. The second phase is rivals Pontiff in terms of enjoyability. And then the design's sick. The arena's probably the best arena in Dark Souls. It's all amazing. Now, moving on to the final boss of the game, Soul of Cinder. I think it'll go top of A tier. It might. I'm also gonna drop Champion Gundyr down to A tier because I think these fights in my head go hand in hand. Because Gundyr's I think it's just a bit too easy. But Soul of Cinder's sick. The arena's fun. The concept's really good. The only issue is it has a one-shot attack move that I thought was stupid. It was a good fight to end the series on. I think it's a great fight to end the series on, and I think it's a really good fight. The fucking music is insanely good. The design's cool. The lore behind it is amazing. The fight itself is just very good. I don't think the fight itself is anything fantastic, in my personal opinion. The concept behind it was fine. I think I'll put Gundyr behind it, but I don't think it touches these four. And then moving on to the DLCs. The first one that I beat was Champions Gravetender and Gravetender Greatwolf, which I think is probably a top of B tier fight. It's a fun fight. Once you understand how Gravetender Greatwolf works, it's fun. I think it's enjoyable. It's a bit too easy, especially for DLCs for Dark Souls, because Dark Souls DLC fights are usually not great, but it is what it is. It's not the most memorable fight, I don't think. I just hate gank fights. When you say gank fights, you mean like gang fights where there's multiple, right? I honestly don't know. And the parrying and blocking, yeah. I think it's a pretty simple fight. It's fine. I like the arena is really cool though. I like the arena a lot. I think it's better than Sith. It's a big upgrade in terms of a Greatwolf fight compared to Sith. But that is what it is. Next up would be Sister Freed, which this is an A tier fight. I'll put this above Abyss Watchers. Sister Freed, I struggled on a lot. But Sister Freed, and it being three phases is kind of rough. And the third phase kind of has some dumb moves to it. But I love the design. I love the story behind it. Well, kind of. I don't understand the story fully because I wasn't paying too much attention. But the fact that you go up to her, you think she's good, she does all the stuff, you go back around, you go down to her dad, you think the dad's evil, but it's her that's evil. The throwback to Priscilla from Dark Souls 1 is sick. Once you get used to how the fight works, it's really fun. It's a very difficult fight, but it is the best kind of difficult. I love this fight a lot. Moving on to the Ring City DLC, you got Demon in Pain, and Demon from Below that turns into Demon Prince. This is an A tier fight. I think I'll go below Dancer. I think I'm also gonna drop Vort to the beginning of B tier. Vort's really good. It's perfect for what it is. It's just I don't know. I don't think it doesn't wow me in any capacity. The music for Vort's underrated. I don't hear anybody talk about the music, but I love the music. But Demon Prince, if Demon Prince had one version of Demon Prince where it does the meteor attack, I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, or because I don't know how people fought it or whatever. But the Demon Prince, after you kill Demon from Below and Demon in Pain, has a meteor attack that is stupid. It is the dumbest attack that I think I in this game, in all of the games that I played, by like a lot. It is ridiculously dumb. But the first phase of the fight is really fucking cool. It being two of them at the same time that you have to balance, and that they change phases, really fucking cool. The second the second phase, if you kill it properly, is pretty easy and it's quite fun. I love the fight. It might be S tier for me in terms of gameplay and stuff if it wasn't for the fact that the fucking has the dumbest move I think I've ever seen in a video game. Moving on to Half-Light, Spear of the Church. This fight is probably high C. It's kind of cool. I don't like the concept all that much. It's kind of easy. It's a decent bit of difficulty for where it is. But I like it a little bit. It's nothing too fantastic, but it's there. And then I think Slave Nightingale is supposed to be the final fight of the game, but this is the one that I did last, and this is my second favorite fight by like a lot. I love this fight. It's great. It rivals Pontiff. It's the only one that comes close to Pontiff. But let me tell you, it's so good. It's just like the greatest. Like the fight, the difficulty is real difficult. This is just the best fight that isn't Pontiff, in my personal opinion. Dark Eater Midir. Okay, Dark Eater Midir, I have a weird fucking weird relationship with, because it was the last fight of the game. I just fought it on stream. The people in stream chat know this. Let me tell you, Dark Eater Midir, the arena's cool, the design's cool. I hate the have to knock him off the bridge thing. I think he's too overpowered of a boss. I locked in and got it pretty good. But it's still, I'm gonna put it top of C tier. I think that's gonna be controversial because I feel like people are gonna hate it because it's too hard, or people are gonna fucking love it. But I think it is just too hard. But as like in terms of music design, all of the aesthetics, all of that stuff, I think it's good. And realistically, I think the actual mechanics of the fight itself are pretty fun and pretty good to read. I just don't think the difficulty needed to be as extreme as it was. And realistically, I don't think I think the way you get to the boss fight where you have to knock Midir off the bridge is probably one of the worst. I wouldn't say gimmick because it's not a part of the boss fight, but it's kind of a gimmick to lead up to the boss fight. Because it's like if you're playing normally and you're not reading off of a boss list, you probably might not even know that's a boss. Well, there has to be a reason for him being in the abyss. I mean, you're right, but at the same time, you could just not make the abyss a thing and just put an arena there and just have him there. But like, it is what it is. I don't know. It's not awful. It's not like these bottom gimmicky fights that are stupid, and it's not boring like these ones here. But it's just fine. But overall, as a game, I think Pontiff, Slave Knight, Nameless, and I even just these 6 S tier fights, I think, are so good. And even these A tier fights, I think a lot of them are very, very solid. I think I might change this because these types of fights I really like, the Dragon Slayer armor type fights. But the issue is that it's really top heavy, but these bottom ones I really hate. Like these bottom 3 are F tier, but they're not only 5 tiers away from S. They're like 100. I hate these fights so much. And then these fights just bore the fuck out of me. These fights are all right. They have their issues. Half-Light is just a little boring. Madir I think is way too hard. Osiris and Aldrich just have these aren't my favorite types of fights. But yeah, this game is really good. It picks it up hella at the end game because it gives you the DLC gives you 3 S tier fights in both DLCs. Lothric Lorien, Soul of Cinder, Champion Gundyr, Dragon Slayer, Demon Prince. These are all later game fights that are just amazing. So the game picked itself up, which I really wanted because at first I thought this game was overrated after going from a decent fight in Gundyr and Vord to having to fight things like Curse Greatwood or Crystal Sage, DX of the Deep, High Lord, Yorm's Giant, because those are all relatively early on, and I thought that they were all just not good fights. But that's going to be the end of my tier list for the YouTube video, and yeah, I actually think about doing tier lists for the other 2 games that I played. Didn't 100% beat all the bosses in Dark Souls 2, so that's one thing, but is what it is. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and see you all next time.